Mirage. Now, they will get the defensive start. Bad News Eagles looking to throw the most disruptive of blows to this tournament and to do what they haven't done before in the major circuit. A 2-2 split of defensive resources. Aggression seems to be the name of the game to start us off.
Connector Smoke has landed. GXX is noisy about this. Scenari with the Molotov. It won't be to watch window and Rops. Nobody even expected it. Up over, gets the kill. The trade's coming through. And they have the space.
What? They're just fighting, just biffing. Karrigan brave to go around that corner. Looking for more. But a man advantage for the Eagles to get their first pistol round of the series.
Yeah, exactly that. And this is all the ruse right now. They showed so much towards middle. They've rerouted now all the way back through T-spawn. Remember, Scenari's been perched up here with this Molotov in hand for the entirety of the round and hasn't heard a lick, hasn't heard a step, hasn't heard a peep out of Twist, who he's the hero when FaZe need it most.
Yeah, Twist has got a lot on his plate. Does he want to wait for his squad mates, or will he just try and post some resistance? Hard to track. Two leaping into the site and a quick drive by out of the third. They're into the site and favored. Smoke and a kit, sure. Karrigan coming in from Con. They're clearing out CT, some back miss clicks, the punishment from Flatro. 3 in the pistol for Eagles' first pistol round. Good damage, jiggles, Karrigan the last of all. And the Eagles will take a much-needed T-side pistol round.
Actually had a little bit of something to that, right? They took the fight mid and then they redirected. This team, we've just been talking about them being one-dimensional. Well, that actually had a second dimension to it. So now we're operating in unknown territory with Eagles in the server. A pistol round victory. That is going to feel nice. And that whole conversation we had on map number 1, it can resume. The conversation about Bad News Eagles eliminating FaZe Clan. That had to stop on Nuke. It was one-way traffic. We knew which way that one was going to go. It was quite clear, cut and dry. And the force from FaZe.
Oh yeah, there won't be a dry eye on FaZe if they do falter.
I think they're going to be astonished, disbelief. Come all this way after the boot camp.
I mean, they probably spent all of their time and resources thinking about playoffs, thinking about teams that they want to put some extra sauce on, but tripping over their shoelaces upon arrival. FaZe, can they really manufacture a second round force? Woo, Twist, that is something special. Quick dig to the head, Synopsy dead. Scenari trying his luck, and Connectors at least for the trade, albeit belated. It's Karrigan actually finishes the job and puts the AWP, or rather the bomb, on the floor. Aware of potential for apartments as well. Rigon and GXX are crawling in. Brokey is poised and clicking. Rigon tagged, and now Rigon dead. Through the apartments, Karrigan about to be overrun. Flatro up and over with a double of his own, and now the Eagles should have the bomb down. Rain, scout. Perfect! God damn, straight to the head. Flatro dead, and now all on to GXX. Yet to frag, but an AK and 2 to find. Heading for market. Ross waiting, and he will receive them. It's FaZe this time with the second round force. 2 AKs recovered as well. That is just extra sauce. And so, tied up, equalized, and heroics out of everyone there. You know, Twist Deeg does something. Karrigan scout as well with some contributions. It's a very nice find out of Rops to close. And Rain, what on earth was that?
Yeah, lovely shot from him. Had to hit that one because they cleaned house towards the bomb site. They were just starting to fortify in that post-plant scenario, and that shot hit. But this is the opener here from Twist, and it is spicy. They got Dicey from there. This is Brokey just chipping away, knocking down Rigon. And this shot from Rain, that is the difference maker. GXX gets blindsided by that push from Rob. Sure, he addresses it, but you could see he wasn't ready. And I don't think I've seen Raban get excited like that in some time. So the importance of that round, it's been felt team-wide.
I mean, you said it yourself, this is a best of one. We know what BNE have done in best of ones. If they can treat it like that, see it like that, frame it like that, there is definitely grounds for disruption.
Well, there's a caveat with all of that. In that challenger stage, the lion's share, and literally the lion's share, more so, of their rounds came on the CT side. So,
okay, Brokey, flustered on that one. Should be allowed to get away, but there is, of course, the unknown of Rigon, but they don't seem to be too flustered about that. The bomb on ramp side, and they will just reset. Recede, play the long-range engagements. There is no armor on the Eagles, and of course a bomb plant best case scenario.
How can this get out of control here? Because this is completely overlooked. If they do slink into the site, and the timing is found here. Now, we know Rops uses native res. He won't get caught off guard by 4x3. And he should have him at least in the crosshairs. The spot up from Rops, well handled. It is just going to be Synopsy, the last prong to limp out the ramp. Now, that was a conservative approach from BNE. They didn't want anything to do with the Force Buy Wars, which seems a little bit uncharacteristic. With where the loss bonus was at, they will be able to buy now, but it's not going to be a fantastic looking buy, right? It's not going to be the type where they have AKs on everybody. Well, maybe I tell a bit of a lie. There's 4 AKs, make it 5. Yeah, well, they all made sacrifices. Instead of everybody getting head armor and full belts of utility, it's Rigon with Kevlar at AK, so he's extremely susceptible to everything in the server right now.
Yeah, and no nades to speak of. They just have to hit some shots. Now it's deathmatch for the Eagles. Scenari, wings clipped. Rops the man behind it. From that ladder room position, and now starting to use that smoke to his advantage to at least reposition, and over the smoke he posts another very dynamic from him. Still Rigon, good to punish.
And they've isolated a lot of fights here across the map on both sides of the server. 3v3 now. The bomb over towards the B apartments, but Twist, he is the entity of all part of this that can unravel it. Pushed up the guts, a lot of space taken. It's a question, is he going to play to contain, or is he going to play to try and push and find more info? Well, as he continues to march forward silently here, they have no idea that he's in the back line.
Okay, so Karrigan and Brokey essentially just tasked with a site each. And it will hinge on Twist as to when or where he chooses to advance. Flatro in the palace, operating at about half health. Brokey underneath. Responsible for a lot. And they are coming his way. Twist does seem to be hedging his bets in the right direction as he maneuvers to T-spawn. Jungle to be cleared out. Rigon nothing to report. You have to check Dark eventually. 30 seconds. Ooh, what a snap! Still alive, only for a moment. Rigon will respond.
The bomb's still going to go B.
Oh, Karrigan's going to over-rotate. Of course you would.
And they've drawn them over now. This is perfect. Synopsy playing for the clutch right now. Rigon, he can relinquish control of A, slink back down through the underpass towards the B side, or even consider coming short here. They don't even know. They can't tell. They weren't close enough to the sound cue. Penny's dropped now, starting to dip back.
This is the fight. Karrigan not ready for this. Synopsy about to have a chance at the 1v2. Karrigan, are you really ready for this fight? Jiggles. Jiggles. Frag. Found. 1v2 goes 1v1. Synopsy. Chance to level things out. Good angle. A good opponent, but time on his side. He knows he can play the time. He hedges his bets close to the wall, spots out Twist, it's a big spray through, finds the head and finds the round for the Eagles. What a recovery that was.
Oh, didn't look that convincing there with the spray at the end, but the play to outmaneuver FaZe across the map, that was tidy business, right? The fact that Brokey snapped up to Flatro, that was great. The trade from Rigon short, that drew the rotation, the gap was created, and you could see there was in two minds from Synopsy here, because as soon as Rigon goes down towards mid, he was going to push forward for even more space. Fortunately, he didn't because Karrigan got back quick, smart. But that round means an awful lot. Both teams still with plenty of cash to buy, and this is more like it.
Really? This is game on. Rigon gone. Whew, that's aggressive. Straight out the window, straight up the guts.
They have to pivot off of this, right? They know that these players are over towards the B apartments. Can get that upgrade, and you can see it at the feet, just using the MP9 to clear out close, and there you go. Rain will get the upgrade, but the next point of action likely towards middle here, Karrigan or Brokey.
Karrigan, he's not going to overcook it, but he's letting them cross through. Short. Oh, Brokey pays a heavy price for the info. Rops might have to hold B with Rain from the apartment. It's a weird role reversal. In from short, Rain to spray. That upgraded AK comes into play. Hold on, hold your horses. Rain repositions. And Synopsy and Flatro looking to try and find a new avenue.
Again, they're just pulling these threads, and it's forcing FaZe into these awkward situations. I know they had the initiative, and now they're creeping forward. This step has hurt. This step has definitely hurt. Synopsy knows one's close.
Never mind, a headshot instead. Synopsy, Flatro trying to do the impossible in a 2v4.
He didn't see him.
Blind. He has no idea. He has no idea. He hears a little something, something. A lot of nades, but he'll use that M4. Synopsy crawl now on the floor. Looking for more. Rob's unable to do so. Quick trade from Karrigan to secure a third round on this defense.
Oh, we're playing some silly games with them right now, our bad news Eagles. And that's such an awkward maneuver to try and pull off when you know that the B apartments is completely given over to that CT side. 180 degrees on Jules, even if they had made their way up to the site. One player up to B apartments, one over towards the markup position. That was never going to be easy here. good job trading onto this kill on Rops, right? It forces Karrigan to step on out and take that duel. And it's getting a little bit wonky over there in the buy department for Bad News Eagles. Galil, that's the top end. P250, that's the bottom end. And again, this brute force through mid.
Pacey. See if FaZe can handle this. The world-class team, they just need to demonstrate their ability and affinity against the aggression. Flatro does go punished. And only GXX to voice anything else on ramp initially. You can see the crossfire, Brokey active. They want to clear this out together. Well, that's the problem. Resolved. And Synopsy was hoping that if he kicked up enough of a fuss, he might have pulled a couple of the pieces out of this B puzzle and enabled another bomb plant. Don't forget, they fully invested there.
If he can find the fight cleanly, like Karrigan should just tuck in and wait for a sound cue. He doesn't actually have to overextend in this environment right here. But if Synopsy can somehow find this kill, can pick himself up a rifle, and I was going to say potentially get the bomb down, but if you look at the radar top left of your screen, you can see Twist has just gravitated towards that market position. So he'll be able to stall this one out unless some absolute bangers are hit, and yeah, it's unlikely.
He's just accounting for the potential. If Karrigan was to go down, you don't want it to spiral into an afterplant with time to reposition. Karrigan now calls for aid. He's got the info, and beautiful, beautiful. Tidy round, converted.
And a bit of a smile on the face of Karrigan there. So happy with how that one unfolded. And I think there's a good reason to be. Right? You know what type of buy that was. You saw the head armor, you saw the Galil. You understand that they just threw their bodies at you and they got nothing for it. Sure, it was slightly chaotic towards that connector position, but that's all it was. Chaos that FaZe were able to grab and use in their favor. So Bad News Eagles will be stomaching what should be a full eco here before we can see the buys again. And this is FaZe's chance now to really hunker down, right?
Yeah,
set themselves up with a stable base. If we want to keep up this conversation, if we really want to believe in Bad News Eagles on the CT side, right, then we have to talk about how many we want them to get in this T half. So if we set this early, we set the expectation, if they can get themselves 4 or 5 rounds in total here on the T half, that's going to be par for the course. So even if we see FaZe blow out to say like a 7-2, let's call it a 9-2 scoreline, if Bad News Eagles late are able to creep back in, I think they will consider that a success.
Absolutely. And they've proven time and time again that they're not to be underestimated in the face of adversity at a disadvantage. Just Glocks. Robs with the SMG to farm up some extra cash. A $600 kill reward if these Glocks run into his meat grinder. However, they are actually just having a leisurely stroll towards Karrigan, who's now got the support and the info. Brokey will tap away at one, doesn't get the frag, but damage inflicted.
It's not looking pretty, is it?
No.
But they're not coming in, so I suppose you would consider that job done. Oh, well, Karrigan steps up and will take Synopsy down through the wall, so he'll enjoy that. He will be tested on towards this B bomb site in several different occasions here, Karrigan. So if he can pad his confidence here, he's the type of individual. I know that we think, okay, Karrigan, not a massive fragger, but he can have impactful moments when the chips tend to be down for this team. And he's kind of like Snappy in a way, where they just have these pop-off performances when you expect all the other stars to do so. But they're 2 older boys, right? Karrigan, he's 32. Not a young lad anymore, but still able to lead the team at the highest of caliber and contribute when they need him.
Yeah, we got a lot of teenagers in attendance here in Rio.
But the core of FaZe is so young.
Right.
I think it's 22 for Twists and... I think it's 22 for Twists and Rops, and then Brokey's 21.
Brokey's younger, yeah.
Something along those lines. Maybe it's 23, or I know we were talking about this when we were covering the FaZe versus Vitality game yesterday.
Karrigan signature smoke thrown out. Get to see it from the man himself. That will lock out the forward position of B Apartments and does at least posture for some CT crawl.
This is a little bit more like Vertigo right now in a pacey round like this, or lack thereof. See, BNE are taking their time. They're doing a default spread. They've been able to get Synopsy parked up in towards this window.
That's a bit of a gap, no?
Well, the fact that the vent isn't broken, that's the key. They're aware this is possible, but what a shot!
Whoa, knocks the hair off a Twist. The Eagles. Advantage onto the guns. Quickly eliminated one. Brokey dancing around default. Getting hunted now. 3 of them. Surging towards him. Good find onto default. Rob still lingers in the palace as a CT. Will they consider this? Yes, they will. Oh, yes, indeed. A smoke to completely nullify his options. And that looks like a gap closer, if ever I saw one. Synopsy having a very impactful game here.
But remember what we're talking about, right? If they get 4 or 5 rounds here on this T half, this is the 3rd already. And within the first 8 rounds of play. So this is a very big round to win with all of that considered. And we were just talking about that being a bit more of a default spread. They get all that space. And you're talking about the gap. Yeah, a gap in terms of they know that it's open, but the sound cue was provided, it had to be provided if they were going to flank towards that B site or CT spawn. But that shot was an absolute blinder, and it looked like Twist was addressing it.
Yeah. Maybe an AK-47 to be delivered into Rops here, but thinks better of it. Flatro will exit with the rest of his cronies. Oh, and even confirmed, oh, his suspicions. I don't know if that AK is going to be retrievable. Bang. He's going to have a look. Good luck. Have fun. No, no fun for Robs today. This is about survival. You know, less than about making a name for yourselves. FaZe has already done that, but right now, they just have to pick up the W. No chance for another L over the course of this stage. We do get to see Brokey on the AWP. We'll see how he chooses to implement it. Oh, look at this from Bad News Eagles. They're going for an immediate AX egg.
There's two players here to deal with this, Rops and
just go.
Rain in combination.
Okay, pug time. Let's see how Rain reacts. The Elder Statesman. He's seen this play before. Many a moon ago. The whole squad's here. Brokey, completely nullified by the smoke. Flash is perfect, but Rigor doesn't clear on triple. Back is turned. Spray is hit. Twist actually finds the frag. Bomb denied as well. Good start from FaZe in defending this. Bare knuckle brawl on the A site. GXX forward position had managed to advance and lock down connector. Go in, looking, twists aware, and jiggles out. Big find from GXX. Posts it for his second frag, and the bomb's still not planted. Brokey could have been caught out by that forward position. You can see Scenario up over the box. He's been tasked with the plant and should have it uncontested.
The Prince in Palace, he's coming. Rops is behind, and he's going to grab the kill on Flatro here.
Beautiful. Scenario vulnerable. There's two on both sides, and it's Rops again to secure it. Only GXX. He started strong, but this is just a step too far. They all staring at him. They know it's most likely Ram. What a shot into the head of Brokey. Shouldn't be any more. Carrigan trying to hold them. They are on the defuse and faking it out, dancing with him now. Carrigan holds his nerve and his spray for the 6th.
Okay.
Hanging on by a thread at times.
Yeah, dicey there for a moment. Rops again with that type of maneuver around the world here to come in through that Palace position. He completely unravels that and he changes the discourse that was being had on the BNE side. It went from settling into the post-plant scenario and really identifying where the threats could come from to going, this is something we didn't account for, and now we're in a world of strife. So you can see Rops springing to life there. And Carrigan as well. Look, in that scenario, when you have Carrigan trying to take that fight, you pull off the bomb, you want to take the duel in unison, but there was a chance that maybe that could have fallen on the wayside. So a close one here.
Yeah, he's not stopping. Rops, he found aggression, and he's added it to the mix. 2 Eagles down already. Flatro tries as hard as he might to find a fight, but it's not going to work out well. Twist will find him. But seriously, they've added a whole new arc to this Rops character, where he's going for around the world flanks, active repositioning, and he's just charged up mid to take the fight alone. Unsupported, he doesn't need anyone else's help. The third for the Estonian wonder child.
Well, this is the thing with Rops. Maybe if people who haven't had the history lesson on him and the addition to this FaZe roster joined in the early stages of this year, GXX will be going down. He can't even... Oh, actually, he's acknowledging it. So GXX, awareness on the push. Now, the avenue of Assault, he can make his way up the ramp here, but there's too many bodies to deal with it, and it'll be Brokey, the AWP on the other side to take him down. But Rops, he was the missing piece of the puzzle. He joined at the start of the year. It changed the complete dialogue behind FaZe. Now they're the #1 team in the world, the reigning champs, the contender that everybody are turning their attention to here in Rio. But not only that, you have to go back a little bit earlier when Carrigan was on Mouse alongside of Rops. And when he joined that team and Rops was an A anchor, he's thinking, you have a player of this ability. Why are you not putting him in more instrumental positions, like playing in connector somewhere where he can really stretch his wings and find a lot of impact here? He's a lurky player. He likes to be clinical. But with the aggression as you've just seen, he has it in buckets and spades. This kid is a mechanical monster.
Oh, and Synopsy might have his number. They're kissing in the smoke. Rops surely solves it. It's like, I wasn't moving forward. I was touching my keyboard. He must know, but doesn't want to reveal it just yet. And Synopsy looking the wrong way. Profits.
I think they wanted to flash him forward for information anyway, and the fact that he couldn't go, aware that if I just sit and wait, they'll come to me. So good understanding of the situation here from Rops, up to 15 kills. And this is the star-level performance that you need from him as Rain and Twist also find some frags.
That's bad. That's not bad. It will be the end. Flatro. Last to 4. We will see 8. So a 1-out CT half. Solid haul, but I will reiterate, the stakes have been laid out. Bad News Eagles are one of the best. Of course, we've got some crazy teams in attendance, but one of the best in attendance here at Rio at these CT streaks. They can pull out a defensive wall.
And that's why we're, it's difficult right now to get over the moon for FaZe. They should be winning this matchup. Coming in today, they were the heavy favorites, but they've already dropped a map. Not that they were made to work for things on Nuke, but if you look at least some of the signs, it points to BNE potentially being able to compete in that second half.
Like
so
you said,
4 or 5.
Yeah, and 3 already in that first half of our third map in this series.
3 towards A here, aggressive A ramp maneuver. So Flatro has to be put on notice as the mid crawl. So they are looking for the space. Twist and Carrigan are the 2 closest to deal with this, and Brokey's AWP hedged towards connector, but stalled out now by some CT redeploys. Who's going to take the first fight here?
I like their A setup. Brokey forward position, just dealing with the connector. And there's 3 walking up mid without the bomb on their back. So is this just puffing up their chest? Is there more to it? Looking for contact, looking for duels. Will FaZe provide them? Brokey could. Hasn't. Won't. On the cross now.
Oh.
Info. Surely Twist is ready now. They'll likely flash him. And he's still good for the frag. Without any support. He shuts down Rigon and sends the rest packing their bags back to A. They elope. But with 38 and this forward setup, look at this. You're not going to get them both. You can find Rain. Rob's there to trade. Oh, bait reload. Oh, brutal. Brutality. 1, 2. Rain delivers as well. Still Synopsy and GXX on a bit of a disadvantage and getting worse. Brokey connects the AWP shot, leaves GXX alone and unwilling to commit. Why would you? $100 in your pocket and AWP in your hands. Try and keep that and play it into the next.
Yeah, this one is starting to hurt now for BNE. And look, we know that this buffer's there, but it's the way that they're losing these type of rounds. Sure, they get those 2 trades back from Synopsy, but it's a 3-on-1 situation where they had to limp out with 20 seconds left. Is that a competitive round? Well, no, not really. So that's the difference that we're looking for here. If they're able to at least keep the pressure on FaZe, who are starting to blow out in the finance department. Brokey with 10K after full purchases here. 7.2 for the likes of Carrigan, and you can take a look down the list. The timeout has been taken. Conversation to be had. This is the first for Bad News Eagles in this third map of play. And with this retained AWP, you have to consider a few factors here. What can be bought around it, and what type of spawn does GXX have? What pick is he comfortable with based off of those spawns? Right now, he's looking over towards the A ramp, and there is the possibility to set him up with that totem boost to try and catch a player running across from A to connector, but here it is from Twist, who he got the deagle kill from that. That helped them get to the second round forced by conversion. So Twist in that vent room position, very potent, and here comes this boost I expect.
So GXX will have a look, nothing immediately on the cross, instead getting Twist back up into his power position.
Well, you could see that was a port of call for BNE in the previous round. They wanted to roll out the red carpet usher Rigon in towards that vent room so he could hold in. Twist and eyes, and shifting back now. Now the Bad News Eagles. They did invest into this AK-47. Some lighter upgrades with pistols, and, well, the util, it's not very threatening.
Yeah, it really is. Eyes on Flatro, eyes on GXX, and, well, name in the feed.
Curiosity killed the Rops there, apparently. It's worked for him before, a little bit more out the gate, but playing for info, it's a face full of lead. The number disadvantage, still feel like FaZe are favored with the firepower.
Yeah, but it just takes another one of those. You know, Twist is postured here. He is.
Synopsy's doing a lot of talking. You see him looking down the line here.
Actively holding this line. They don't choose to run boost. And that could be the death of them. Gets one. Gets away. Slows them down on their crawl.
Going away.
I like that. Big
Open
gap.
runway.
Big gap. Brokey with a good catch and still posted up for this jungle cross. Forward position. He's looking a bit rushy. He wants to move through. He wants to go now. Brokey with a no-scope right to the spine. Flatro's gone, and so are the hopes of the Eagles in our 13th round.
Well, this is looking like more like the team, the world #1 that we're expecting, just with some of the plays that they're making. Brokey surging through that smoke. That's the risk. That's the signature broke. He gets called out online. Everyone's like, this guy's a passive AWPer. I think he took that personally. And since then, maybe a completely different player. Let the time run out. Punish him right now. Look at the flanks.
Look, they're running
Don't
away.
kill him.
They're running away from him. You can kill me. I'll kill you after time. Brutal. Left with nothing. $200. All he has to his name, a packet of Haribo and some pocket lint. All he has to boast. Oh, GXX, now is not the time to be losing out like that. He's got a teammate dropping him a deagle and a tut of his tongue as he realizes that battle for 4 or 5 gonna be even harder now.
Yeah, this is gonna be very difficult, and with that kill after time,
this is just crazy. The fact, I guess
is.
it was a question of the time, but also, as we said, the A site was wide open. Rain's passive in Palace, he knew he had to be the one. The chosen one. No break of the vent, so a sound cue required if the T's do worm their way up the window boost.
GXX got a donation here of a deagle, and he's bounded by one flash and get dropped another. So he has at least something to try and enable his teammates here. Doesn't always have to happen through the bullets, but you're gonna have to break through at some point. As Carrigan, looking a little bit vogue, has brought out the AUG, but the flash is towards A and into Rops' domain.
Oh,
so
such
blind.
a good flash. Perfect from Cineri. That's kicked open the start of the round for the Eagles. More from Rigon, 2 to the good. That 4th round starting to become a reality as Flatro takes down that AUG. Carrigan out.
Evacuating. Different plans. They're in towards B. Take a look. Synopsy has all the territory. Are slightly worried about the flank. They're going to let Synopsy work, and he's already caught Twist off guard. Just Brokey. They know where he is.
Yeah, and the bomb's coming back to A, though. Brokey just lost all of his health. Will go down through the box, so Flatro finishes what Rigon started.
And he was aware of the gap in that smoke. We've seen that smoke used time and time again. You and I have had the pleasure of casting so many Mirage games, and that has been a consistent feature in a lot of them from the CT sides, limping that forward just ahead of the ticket between the firebox and playing around the different elevation and gaps. But bang on with the flashes there. Rops, he could not see a thing. And this is only the 4th kill in total for Rigon here, but that has impact written all over it. BNE should do their best work on the CT side.
5 would be cream. Absolute cherry on top if they can find this 5th. Postured B. Been a while since Carrigan got tested over here. Currently has the support of his AWPer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Brokey, if he gets smoked off, he can be removed from the piece, but if not, shooting
GXX
gallery.
has got it in his hand, so he might throw it out. Not before they cross, though, Rigon. Early grave. Could be a grave mistake. 11. Attainable. FaZe. Alert. Looking astute. Looking to cross. Flatro clearing out short through the flames. The sound cue betrays, and now only 2 left to play. Cineri, the last, the spray. Not gonna happen. 11 for FaZe Clan secure. 5 rounds away from the first step in survival. Bad news, Eagles. They've got to do it all on the CT side, or this will be the last game they play at the Major. close to survival for another day of play. FaZe versus BNE. We're at the third map. We're at the pointy end of the karambit for this game. For survival, BNE and FaZe. One of them going home at the end of Mirage. Will the journey be cut short? They do the dance most frequently. CT side Mirage. Up against the Titan, the behemoth that is FaZe Clan. But still, a pistol could be the first stepping stone into disrupting these greats.
Yeah, and we know which side this has been favoring more often than not.
True.
At 5 pistol rounds played so far, 4 of which have fallen for FaZe.
Will we find a fifth? Rob's patrolling. Synopsy jiggling. Flatro still not choosing to reveal himself as it's GXX that will advance. Synopsy with a good click as well. Looks like it's a problem for FaZe right now. Carrigan can get nothing done. It's only Twists. It's only Brokey. And only a couple of headshots, 2 out of Twists to make it interesting. A quick goosh, and it's over almost as quickly as it began. BNE will find their second pistol of the best of 3.
And both in this map. They cannot falter here against the force buy or the potential force buy of FaZe coming right up in round number 17. But without the plant, do FaZe really want to dip their toes into that dangerous water? That's a door wide open for Bad News Eagles to start making this comeback look like a reality.
Is there anything geeky you can even do without the nades? A couple of P250s. Let's see what their game plan is. It might be something as simple as a letter and go.
Well, this is one of those rounds that we talk about on a consistent basis, where you just head over to one site, you show a little bit of leg, you bait out some util, you move to the other, you hope to look for a kill, and then late, see if you can spring in and get that bomb down.
You know, I mean, everything is a numbers game, right? A $300 smoke is forced, he has to buy that again. You get a kill, they have to buy the Kevlar, the weapon, and that's exactly what you're talking about. Perfect embodiment of show a bit of leg.
Yeah, and they know exactly what they're up against. Rigon, he sees that, he didn't drop anything. He didn't go, all right, I'll offer it up. Once you see the Glocks...
He's faking steps, look at this geek.
Yeah, once you hear the Glocks, you understand the silly games that they're up to here. So one of the keys would be if Scenery can try and get a couple of kills in this MP9. Now, that isn't how this tends to go, right? You're never going to put a position for a player to get those kills. If it happens, great. But otherwise, you're not going to sit and stall for those type of environments.
He saw it. He knows. Flatro wise to this. He might be calling for Synopsy to go for the clear. And looking at Carrigan as well. Okay, well, some contact found. Twists disrupted, and the rest will fall into place nicely. Scenario does get himself one of those $600 kills. The rest falls into place. Spotless. BNE up to 6. They get their conversion, but this is where it gets difficult. The weapons will be coming out.
Yeah, I think they understood the situation quite well there, BNE. You have options after the pistol round, especially when if you keep 5 alive or, they get the plant, then you get a bit more educated buy into the next. Okay, what are we expecting to happen? And what type of weapons do we want to carry forward? Well, they brought in with 2 M4s and a FAMAS, which means now we don't really need to see too many crazy upgrades. They can do their best to battle against these 5 AK-47s of FaZe who are setting up quite early for an AP. So it's a fake towards mid, cat smoke, window smoke. They're feigning everything like a default round.
Good deep flash. Carrigan, undeterred, goes through, hard spray, good from Twists as he doubles up. And in. Palace to arrive late. Default clear. Process of elimination begins as Synopsy posted in the open. Twists unawares, need the trade, can't find it as Brokey deterred. Synopsy and GXX under some scrutiny. Look at that damage. But still the frags favor the Eagles. Brokey's 1v3, certainly not impossible. GXX CT, the other is the unknown. And currently, Rigon just flirting with that elevated position into the A site. Oh, he's cleared it. He's cleared it and held the line. Rigon will find the final headshot as the Eagles weather the first full gun round.
And GXX even got his hands there on an AK-47, so he upgraded from the Sky and just a whole lot nicer here, a lot more leg room, air conditioner, and a bit of a sat-nav in this one.
Ooh, the seat warmer even.
That is fantastic. Like, if you're a Bad News Eagles fan right now and you want to see them push this one close, push the world #1, they have everything and more to do so. FaZe Clan can limp in with a partial investment. A scout in the hands of Rop, some upgrades across the rest, and they just need to look for heads here. This is the type of round where you need to let the dogs off the leash and hope that that bite is as good as the bark on the FaZe side of things. But Flatro removing heads, haircuts for free, and they're going to make it 3-4 in middle.
Lovely, jubbly Rain. He had a plan. Might be in the bin. Couple of clicks onto GXX, but I don't think Scenario's interested in any of that fun and games. He knows they're coming for him. He's got the info. 3 CTs spotted. And Rain to be hunted. Synopsy's ready. And waiting.
Another round with all 5 players.
Ooh, good
right?
point.
So we have a couple of those posted now. But the more rounds that they have like this, we're looking second round and fourth rounds of this second half, as we have 4 consecutive now for Bad News Eagles. A moment ago, blink and you miss it. Maybe you just went to go grab a cup of coffee. It was 11-4, now 11-8. Only 3 rounds the difference. And this is the first true gun round for FaZe. This team, pretty handy on a map like Mirage, and I assume that they'll take their time about things a little bit more so here. This can get away from you quickly.
With so much at stake.
There's 3 starting B. They're going to boost up here. They're going to take the fight to Brokey.
Okay, Brokey. Oh, no, he's let it go. Oh, lost opening for the Eagles. FaZe heart starts to pitter-patter. Palpitations, another round to close the gap lingers.
But that's a big bit of information. They know that 3 was started B. There's no way you could have 2 players jump up and fight like that without the boost. However, there was nobody in a position to try and punish and take that space for FaZe. Still sorted out top mid. Palace as well. Rops. He's been having a fantastic game, and he spots out the head of Flatro here.
Okay,
it's just going to be, just going to be a couple of warning shots either way.
It's enough for Carrigan to make a call. The Puppet Master pulls the strings to be. Twist to join him. To be or not to be.
Robs is going to have to join the pack here. I don't feel like you can have a lurk trying to trade efficiently against BNE.
Yeah, he's on his way. No active aggression from the CTs. Rig on to delay with the smoke. He needs to get it out now. They might disrespect that. Nice drop of the smoke. They're into the site, and Carrigan, a big opener. They know he's on the bench. The Extinguish herd, looking for him, spraying for him. They need to clear out this site. Carrigan will burrow into the market to stop the rotate. Bomb is being planted, and it needs to be Carrigan's frag. Synopsy gone. GXX still a threat. Twist around the smoke. Good for the headshot. Quick and clean. And now problems for Suneri. FaZe Clan into the B site, and they do flip the script. They lost that opening and still recover. Carrigan with the call, and Roban proud of that one.
Yeah, the man in the middle of your screen right now, the brains and the brawn of that round, calls them back into this one, and just a contact play. They explode onto the site. He is just trying to open up room for his teammates, but instead gets 2 massive kills. Opens the door, unlocks the B bomb site, and gets them their first round here on the T side.
Will they all be that hard for every bell and whistle you require for the Eagles? Different setup, and a different state of play. Flashes early, into mid, GXX smoked off. No answers into mid just yet, a boost. Just to survey the Savannah. Synopsy active on short side as well, so Brokey's got to be very careful with how far he does peek through.
Flasher's given himself a one-way to work with early, but that's going to start to fade quite quickly here. So that'll be gone before we get to 1:20 on the clock. Unless there is a redeploy, he's going to have to move.
Very forward position now, Flatro. You can see, does think better of it. That's the boost, that's the shot.
Whoa.
Rain! The base of the boost gets the frag on the strafe. Synopsy tucked in tight. Coming connector, burning forward though. It's a lot of bodies here. This could end in the blink of an eye, in the drop of a hat. It's Rigon onto Raid. Quick back from Carrigan. Trying to slow things down. Suneri throws a couple of bullets just straight speculatively into the smoke, and nothing to report. As FaZe recede, reset.
This time looks like they want to head back over towards A here. Suneri ticket, Flatro, as we could see, over towards connector, and GXX has just deployed a smoke defensively. With 30 seconds left, it will have to be this A finish, and GXX might want to consider cheating over here. It's all going to come down to the call from the grave. Otherwise, Flatro and Suneri will have to do this with the 2 of them.
Smoke available in mid if they require. Up the ramp. Flatro gets the answers, but doesn't find the frags. Good utility and better frags. GXX approaching the A site, but surely not. Not with what's ahead of him. He's having a look.
They're already starting to chase for him. They've already completely sprawled out middle. Brokey and Twist are on the hunt here. If he gets both of these quickly, an opportunity for a defuse, but the flash was great and the kill even better. The insurance policy, a Twist right there with the AWP shot onto Suneri. That was great. They juggled it around. They used Bogdan's Law. Low HP. And now scratching your head are the Bad News Eagles. That was great from Rain, wasn't it?
Oh,
fantastic shot.
You rarely see the base of the boost do something so immediate.
But working as intended, right?
Gorgeous.
It drew the crosshair. That's exactly what you're hoping for. And the shake of the head, I think it's starting to sink in now for Bad News Eagles. Going for it, Hero M4 in the hands of Rigon.
Start feeling a little flustered after this one. You've been competitive. across 2 of the 3. Limited options now into round 22. Staring at the smoke. Lots of presence quick up the short. Synopsy does not have the weapon for this job.
Has to tuck in, has to give them the space.
He's not. He actually wants to actively contest, and that should be the end of that Eagles collapse. Flatro towards the market, hoping he gets a freebie. Now, Carrigan is low and susceptible. He doesn't want to feed them the AK. In fact, he's juggled both of the rifles away. Really is making sure this is 14. Just to see another day of play.
Yeah, well, today we've seen the audacity and the class of FaZe. The audacity shown in the veto, the fact that they were even willing to try and tussle Bad News Eagles on their permaban of Vertigo here.
And Robs was so cool in the interview. Just, you know, hey lads, you can't lose another game at the major if you want to get to the next stage of competition. He's like, yeah, well, it's best of 3s now, you know. We lost best of 1s, 2 best of 1s to 2 top 5 teams. I mean, you know, I understand the framing, and it makes sense. It's likely, you know, an embodiment or a representation of what that team talk consisted of and how they hyped themselves up for today.
Maybe they wanted to knock out better teams throughout the Swiss stage before they get to the playoffs, because it could be a real gauntlet that they are going to run to get themselves to those playoffs.
Right, it's weird right now here in Rio. Some things go fishy is afoot in the sense that a lot of the big names, a lot of the front runners we would have expected are struggling.
If this continues in this direction here, we're going to have FaZe, Na'Vi, Liquid, and Vitality all in the 1-2 bucket.
That sounds crazy. So does that, actually. Rops is dead already. And Twists, he could be next on the naughty list. Synopsy, good for it. Okay, Eagles. Some resilience here. And some brilliance back from Rain. Onto Flatro's aggression. Pulls us straight back into a 3v3. That advantage evaporates. I say that. Synopsy's got something to say, as does GXX. Onto Brokey. AWP on AWP action. Carrigan not ready for Scenari. And Rain started off well onto Flatro, but it seems they know he was last seen. Could have slipped towards that jungle position, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Spots the elbow, and it's GXX that will close things off. A nice double on the AWP.
Well, the question is, are the likes of Synopsy and Flatro buying enough time for Rigon to get activated here? He's the third prong of this team as far as the star names go. He has flashy aim. He loves the aggression. You see him getting fired up. But right here, right now, he is being kept under the thumb. FaZe have done a good job of containing him. And they have this 5-round lead still under their belt. All it's going to take is a crack, a crumble, and the Bad News Eagles are done for them. They are the ones who have to battle back into things. And we said 4 or 5 rounds in that first half. Is it going to be enough? Well, at the moment, it doesn't look that way.
I like the aggression, though. Even with so much riding on your next move, Flatro willing to contest convention. Aggression. Oh, trouble. No! Trade. Rain at least pulls one back, but he does hit that headshot. Takes Twists out of the equation. Brokey's missing 2.
They just keep walking into these fights. That's Rigon, the man we just mentioned, right? Giving opportunities to get back into things. Well, he allows FaZe to get back into this one. A 3-on-3 now, and with the deadly names Rops, Rain, and Carrigan still surviving. If they regroup, grab that bomb, we've already seen how they work when they explode in towards the site.
I'm very interested to see how Rain draws the line in the sand. Does he really want it to trifle with trouble? That is a problem. GXX hits it on the jiggling Norwegian. Scenari responsible for this passive. I don't know if he's going to be able to do too much. Still has vision, smoke towards connector, so he can hold this tight line. A high flash to imply CT. And gives it up. Would rather play the numbers advantage. You can see Synopsy's about to burrow in the flank, the one that worked so well for Rops. Does he consider it? Carrigan planting. Oh, shoes knocked off. Could be in trouble. Does manage to get the digits punched, but here comes Scenari. Here comes Synopsy, and no one is ready. A beautiful 2-man spray, and the Eagles will extend play with a 10th round of their own.
Okay.
Synopsy, he's having a real coming out party. He's been fragging up a storm across the series. He was big on Vertigo, delivering now on Mirage, and he is, yeah, like you say, he's keeping the water warm if Rigon does manage to step it up when they need him most.
I want to correct myself here, Alex. I said Liquid. I misspoke. They're currently 2-1. They actually picked up wins over Na'Vi and Sprout. Yeah. That Na'Vi game was the one that was on Angel a little bit earlier today. That was the one that put Na'Vi in the position of being 1-2. So I apologize to everybody who because I've done them wrong.
But yeah, Vitality, FaZe, Na'Vi, all with 2 losses already. Day 1 of the Legend stage. That's just kooky.
Yeah, well,
That's bizarre.
It's getting out of control, but this is the thing. It's the major. Anything can happen. All we have to do is catch lightning in a bottle. Just look at Furia. Right, this is a team I know in back-to-back majors have been able to make it to that playoff stage, but the type of Counter-Strike they've been playing in the lead up to this, there's been question marks on home soil. Finally, finding the pep in the step and the timeout taken, the buy back in.
Coaches, this is your chance. Just those any last words of wisdom to get these boys equipped for a very high-stakes game of Counter-Strike. FaZe, they need 2 rounds. 2 rounds to extend play for another day. Eagles, the same. Karrigan with a call. He's completely abandoned the first letter
I think they're trying to bully Rig on here, mate.
Yeah, I guess you might be onto something. Rain housekeeping. Twist's aware that they do like a touch of aggression, clearing out his underpass. And this can feel like a lot of different things. Look at that T-smoke. Should enable Rain to split and slip the gap. Flatro looking for answers and gets a face full of lead instead. Rig on short side. Synopsy on site. Head on a swivel. He's got a lot to contend with here. Brokey has the bomb on his back in apps.
They've hit pause right now.
Yeah, interesting to see who's going to make the next move.
Well, Rigon's overstepped the mark a couple of times here.
Sometimes he does get a misread. Finds a safe angle. And they know they've lost a lot of territory. You can see look how passive GXX is right now. He's just looking at that potential for the window cross.
Yeah, this is a very conservative play from BNE right now. They've given up all that space, as you've mentioned. They're somewhat flying in the darkness here, so they're going to have to use their Spidey senses. 45 seconds on the clock. Still nothing. Nobody giving an inch on either side.
Well, it's going to have to be FaZe the blink first. And that bomb's still committed. Here they come. They're gone. Pays off. A big fang. A second would have been nice. Still, though, Brokey, the unknown entity. Synopsy can dance around the site. And Brokey heard and still hits the shot. Synopsy's going to be kicking himself. That bomb faked out, both in market. Late flank out of Twist. They're not looking. Still, though, would love him to survive. Brokey extends play. Caught on the jump is Scenari. GXX got a lot to do, but only 13 seconds. They need the frag. Oh! He gets 1, and it's not done. Twist saves them. 3 kills out of the Van Dolkin. And just like that, we find 15-5. Opportunities in front of FaZe to extend play, to survive.
This kid's name is Impact, right?
Yep.
His name has to be Impact. The amount of rounds with a Twist that are just the difference makers. Oh, and that no-scope right there.
Again.
They jumped on each other's head. If they hadn't pulled that maneuver off, if they had landed behind one another, it was likely to be a double.
Oh my God, Chad, I hadn't even considered that. You're right. They are all heading towards the rather quick engagement here. Scenari, Flatro, both available. They have to establish crossfires because smokes, molotovs, flashes, a barrage of utility into the A site. And for Scenari, it's surely futility. Only 1. Better than none. Through towards jungle side. FaZe, 4 frags away. BNE, in desperate need of the same. As they need to be perfect. Synopsy, that's exactly that. Another impactful double. Brokey was distracted on the plant, and a quick one out of the dig from Rigon. Will pass the first test of the many that come.
4 more of those.
Yeah, and you know what? Recovering that second AWP might be exciting for them as well. Not only to nurture the funds, but also to perhaps have an element of surprise, or rather positional freedom. You can put Rigon, or who else is going to be applying their trade on the second?
You know, right now, it's the question of what type of buy do they think is on the other side of the server, as opposed to where did they want to put the AWP, right? Because first you have to identify what you're going to be up against. If you think it's going to be something a bit more pistoly and poppy and not a full buy, then you need to make sure that the AWP is not alone on a site here. It needs support of a rifle, and it will fall into the hands of Rigon, who...
Oops. Not ideal when against these quick and poppy SMGs, or rather
this is a B split.
Tech-9s, and they are quick. Missed shot, or rather just a wing clip. Still Twists alive. Rain the same as he hits one on the drive-by. What problem now for Rigon? On a light buy, FaZe should have no voice in this round, but already an imposing presence, relieved by Synopsy, continuing to be the hero that Bad News Eagles need in their most dire straits. Down to 17. GXX still alive and kicking. The frags do come through despite the great shot out of Rain. That's all FaZe have in round 27. And Scenari will finish it. Nice, neat, tidy.
Oh.
2 of their 5 tests passed, and they do opt for a secondary AWP to be maintained.
Again, and that's what I was saying. I don't think they were expecting that to just be a pistol buy, right? Because you would have had 2 players towards the site in that type of a situation. The fact that both AWPs started mid is telling they were expecting a bit more of a default spread, but that fast beat split, and again, it's Synopsy who saves them. In back-to-back pressure rounds, multi-kills to keep them in it. It's 3 rounds. That's what Bad News Eagles need, and FaZe, they just have to break through with one of their own.
They just cannot give up. Every decision you make could be the one that costs you. Could be the one that saves you. Rain across, catching nades. A little bit of chip damage inflicted.
If this is an A execute here out of FaZe, which is looking somewhat likely with how they're postured, it might be a double AWP retake on the A site. And Scenario, the timing against him. Brokey's found him.
Oh, that's a nasty death. He has to watch now as his team look to hold on, keep their talons in the major. Trying to clutch onto the 4v5, and the A site starting to look lost. They will be able to perhaps get that bomb down. Rigon as well has managed to level the odds, catches twists. We've discussed him. He's been saving it for FaZe, and GXX misses out on the chance. Rops doesn't seem to care. Rigon again, heavy impact on this secondary AWP. Slipping through is Robs, but the frags keep coming for the Eagles. Perfect in recovery. And there's another. Continuing to pass their test. They will not give up. They will not surrender.
Rigon with impact there on that secondary AWP gets 3 kills in total, 2 of them with the big green, 1 with the pistol, and that'll deny FaZe after the opening kill. That avenue that was brought to them with the death onto Scenario, you think that's enough to get into the site. Sure, the bomb goes down, but they're just happy to sit and wait this one out, find the kills as they come in their favor and get this defused. Synopsy again chasing down 30, and the mood's still high. Flatrope, the smile on the face. They could have bought into this, FaZe. They've gone a half buy again here. They were close before. Let's try again.
Hedging their bets. Most opportunities to find this final round. The elusive 16th.
B execute.
Could be Pacey, could be Poppy. Rigon is in support. He's great in the previous. Twist already cut down to side.
GXX
69.
is here as well. There's 3 players on B.
They've got a great read of the situation. The smoke will confirm their suspicions. Well-placed nade. The limit options. Jumping into the site. The water falling through and smashed away. The frag again comes through for the Eagles. This will be determined in the final round of play. It's locked in unless Rops does the impossible. The full 30 rounds in our 3rd map here. An elimination series between the world #1 and the team representing themselves. FaZe Clan, an org that's existed for 12 years. BNE, an organization founded after Antwerp. It really doesn't get much more of a contrast than that.
I think the hopes and dreams of a lot of people at home, and they watch this Bad News Eagles team, this is bringing the purity back to Counter-Strike where it all began, the way that it was 20 years ago, when it was a bunch of guys playing Counter-Strike together, doing their absolute best to compete against whoever they could to show that they were the best.
Yeah, and meeting up with the bros you've made over years of online play together, face to face. Bullet to the face, there you go. We do go the distance, 30 rounds. Even the referee smiling at the passion they're showing as they do not surrender. They do not give up. 5 rounds was the task presented to FaZe, and they have fallen in the first 4.
Yeah, and this is the key right here. This type of a buy, FaZe could have had AKs with light util,
Right.
but they opted to go for a half investment, which meant that they could be somewhat threatening as we saw, but now all the goodies, everything that they could possibly hope for, AKs across the board, full bags of util, and this is the call that Carrigan, the in-game leader, the mastermind, has to put his pieces in the right places, and the bomb, it's over towards A right now. The other 3, Twist, Rain, and Carrigan.
He's hoping to force an over-rotation. He wants to confuse them.
Or is it going to be a split? I'm not sure what the option is here.
A utility already. Forces Flatro through. 3 now stacked on A.
Oh, he's expecting them to over-rotate in this pressure environment.
Yeah, he's trying to find a gap.
It's worked. Look at all the space they've just given up on A.
It's working. Rain and Twists will clear through middle. No resistance due to the early presence.
But look at all the utility they use just to draw the rotation. They have the space, sure, but what do you execute with late? And Synopsy on the step, he's going to grab himself 30 kills.
Brilliant, but still traded. It will not be the Synopsy show anymore. That one's been cancelled by Rain. Still a 4-on-4, a battle for everything, for all the marbles, for survival. Flatro, resistant, damage inflicted. Rain, limping, does need to recede and hold on to his life. He gets away with it. Carrigan, next stage of the plan. Big FaZe. Oh, and Robs. He lets it go. He slips up on the frag. There was 2 CT. He screams. He decrees. We do see the molly to stop the recross. Sceneri. Options limited. A nice flashbang to as well to facilitate. He drops the bomb. Brokey knows he has to be the hero. Take the space. Get across. Rigon denies. Overtime looms as it does look like this Eagle wall has remained vigilant 5 rounds in a row. Rain 10 HP. There's no way. There is absolutely nothing he can do because the Eagles keep us in overtime. Rounds insufficient in separating FaZe and BNE. The loser of this Mirage game will be eliminated from the Rio 2022 Major. FaZe defending Major champions up against Bad News Eagles, who made their splash at that same Major. Now, the way it works here, MR3, 10K.
And the plucky underdogs, mate. The plucky underdogs.
Bro, they just did it 5 rounds in a row.
11-4, 11-4. We set the bar early. Right now, this CT meta, whatever is in the water here in Rio, these comebacks, consistent. And the double AWPs, not
out of ideas. Neither team out of ideas. Charging in. Big find out of Sceneri. Needs more. Nade will be thrown, and GXX has the opportunity. Hits it straight through on the bricks. Huge impact from the Eagles early. Sceneri finds 2 of his 14 frags at the start of overtime. Romps can arrive. Brokey 2. Odd stacked against them. Flat Road as well. Unknown, unchecked in Palace. Romps, though, Counter-Strike royalty. Flatro should have his crawl. GXX anticipating it too. If he can find GXX, Brokey can move. Has to be perfect. Just like that. Still takes one to the leg. Brokey down as well to 13 HP. They do not have the health to win this round. Not even considering Palace. Look at the restraint on Flatro. He wants to make sure this is a win, and he'll do so with a frag like that. First of their defensive half. Secure. And for Eagles, I mean, what do we set? Just smash through 3 rounds and then 1 of your T rounds.
Yeah, who knows, right? Who knows how this is going to unfold now? I think the biggest conversation is the individuals who should feel more secure in an environment like this are the players on your screen right there.
Hell yeah.
These are the individuals who have the pedigree, right? You can talk about Carrigan, you can talk about Rain. Well, let's not forget about Twists, where he came from in the Liquid days. Sure, Brokey, sure, Rops. Well, actually, Rops as well. That conversation experience outweighs on one side of the server to the other. But Bad News Eagles are still taking this fight and in towards the underpass with aggression again. They look like they're playing with confidence.
This Cinderella story has more twists and turns. Speak the devil, Twists finds the head.
This time more of a default spread, right? Not going to be that quick car crash in towards the site. And we've had rounds like this before. Carrigan's done a good job of pulling them around the map.
Carrigan wants a T round. You do not want to be coming into a defensive half with no margin for error. All too familiar territory for FaZe, but a T round really does feel like a necessary component of an overtime victory. Synopsy has hit that 30, and he's looking for 31. Spots out Rain. Okay, cancel plans. Does look to reposition. Well aware of his vulnerability for that underpass crawl.
Yeah, Rain has to be on high alert here as well, so he's just going to continue jiggling back towards that doorway. Brokey's come back, scooped up the bomb. I remember we spoke about bullying Rigon over towards the B site. Well, he's found some form late, up to 17 kills. Last time we checked in, it was about 10. It couldn't have come at a more timely fashion as Scenari. This is a gamble stack. He's over towards the B bomb site with Rigon as well. There are 3 players who can contribute quite quickly here. Bad News Eagles can stop them at the gate.
Oh my god, they're in the right place. Now, just need to put their bullets the same on the cross. Carrigan doesn't fall to Rigon. Flustered now. Eliminated as well on the drop is Rain. Down is Scenari, another double. Back-to-back rounds of OT. He has found his form, found his footing. The round, though, not done yet. Brokey still posted an apps with the bomb on his back. He cannot go down. Cannot afford to. Synopsy's kind of trapped with Rops as well. It'll 1v1 established as Brokey wins his. And Rops will take it too. FaZe hold their nerve for a round in this 3-round T side.
And as the bookends right there, Rops close to the screen, Brokey down the tail end. They had 2 back-to-back rounds where they had an opportunity to try and clutch it out for FaZe, and this time they do succeed.
God, still hanging on by a thread. This is Twist's opening. They got caught out by this before. You know, Flatro managed to get an even trade last time he tried it. Don't think he'll be trying it again in the final round of this defensive overtime.
And there's no easy games here at the Major, mate.
I say that as he does once again head to the window. We are back into the round. And burning down was Rain. Safe and sound. Brokey in support. Synopsy doesn't see the barrel, just the tap poking out.
Has a good idea. He has a very good idea that...
He has an incendiary. Could flush Rain out, but it's not an ideal scenario without support. Now, Synopsy could call upon Flatro. Dead silent. You can see mouths are moving, Rain talking it out. How do we get ourselves into the site? The second T round could be the first nail in that Eagle coffin. Oh, that was the duel. Confirms their suspicions. A nade right on the nose. Could be the end of Rain. 2 HP to spare. Another for the finish. Loud though. Twist. No, Synopsy is just about over. And a quick snap to the head. Synopsy now dead. Scenari falls as well through the ramp fine. They are going to charge through. Looks like A will be the target of their desires.
Chasing towers right now. They were trying to look for Twists in mid to try and remove him. So now it's going to walk in towards this A side. GXX AWP on the cross has to stop them.
Okay, across and in. GXX. Could be his turn to revel in the intensity. Rigon up, over, shatters 2 with the spray. Flatro there for the finish. It is only Twist, last seen in mid, 2 to find, and only 20 seconds to do so. There's no way. He's staring at smokes. He has to disrespect them. And they're playing it smart. They're playing it safe. Twist with just 10 seconds. He can't even win with the bomb plant at this point. And dead. Rigon, another impactful round. Rigon coming alive for the Eagles in order to weather this defensive storm. A 2-1 split. Happy with that. FaZe will now have to take to the attack. This is the defense from Rigon. Look at this. Beautiful double, just goes up and over, doesn't want to let them establish or get that bomb down, and Rigon finishes with the triple, so sides will be swapped. It's the Eagles' turn to attack. Brokey, deliberate or not, that's the question, as he does find himself towards the early underpass. Synopsy was investigating.
Oh, the timing. Brokey comes back, he walks into it!
Dead man, dead AWP. Opening for the Eagles, could be 418. Rops looking for 30. Synopsy cut out of the round, needs to fall away. Play the advantage, hold on to what you have. It's a 4-on-4, bomb leaning A. Rigon walking in, unannounced, unattended. Robs unprepared. Rigon back into A site. FaZe in a tailspin. They need to find a way back into this A site because already the smokes are dropping. Carrigan trying to find through the... What is that from Rigon? Just a slither on the gap of the smoke. Enables another frag. We're looking like it could be 18. No. FaZe could once again be on the ropes. Unless Rigon doesn't find Rain. Another frag for Rigon. Back-to-back triples in order to try and knock out the world #1 from the major in 16th place. That must feel good. They believe. They are plugged into the matrix and they're starting to believe that FaZe Clan now have 2 opportunities just to fight to extend this game.
Oh dear, they're going to take a timeout here on the FaZe side of things. They are absolutely rattled right now.
What is happening?
Bad News Eagles woke up today and they were given a gift. Vertigo is where they made their mark in this series, made a believer out of everybody at home. This underdog side were given an opportunity to be in this by FaZe. They removed Ancient. They called the bluff. And guess what? Bad News Eagles shoved all in. Sure, Nuke, that was a blowout. That was all FaZe, but this is a best of 3, and now here on Mirage, this is Turf, where these Pug Stars coming together.
It's Mirage, Chad. Of course the Pug Stars are doing it. Again, it's the Eagles with the most sensational of underdog stories. This underdog has bared its teeth and FaZe Clan whimper. 2 opportunities for the Eagles to knock FaZe Clan out of the Legend stage. Boosted up. GXX surveying, does fall off, spots aggression towards the ramp, needs to find lethality. Rops is poised and ready, and it seems they'll give it a second thought. Synopsy, a lone wolf, prowling into the connector position early, and Brokey receives him. Advantage FaZe, still can go either way. Flustered now. Every word they choose to communicate, every input they press.
FaZe have 3 on the site. They're reading the situation well. Again, we've seen this setup. Carrigan B, Twist in the power position of the vent room, Rops in sandwich, Rain over towards the big door, and Brokey at ticket. They can lock this one down. But all 4 of BNE are coming.
Rops has to extinguish, trapped on sandwich. Rain, the turret, has to be the difference maker because GXX hits it through the smoke. Rops down, level round. Rain needs multi-kill and Flatro is low. Looking to tuck in for the reload. Support of Brokey, it's there. Brokey hitting his AWP shots now. High impact, 3 kills from FaZe's AWPer. The Latvian delivers. Flatro. Round of our first OT.
Okay, 17-18 FaZe have to secure this one for us to go again. Bad News Eagles get one more opportunity and they had to work hard just to get here. They put themselves in the driver's seat of this one.
One good call, one good shot. It could be curtains for FaZe.
Oh, the road to Rio, that was hard enough. Round after round, just to get to this point. It was an absolute onslaught. 181 rounds across 5 maps. That's an average of 36.2 rounds for FaZe just to get to the major. Now they're 0-2 in the boost. GXX, he spots the shot. A little bit of a wobble there.
Okay, careful Twist. Your life so valuable in a round like this. Everything to play for. Rigon starting to worm and maneuver into the setup. It's a 3-man setup at that, so Twists. This is his part of the map that he's responsible for. As window smoke arrives, expect Rigon and Scenari to start to get a wriggle on. Here they come. Oh! Jumps in, still hits the headshot. It's Brokey onto GXX. FaZe have found the multi-kill required. Synopsy and Flatro, though, 2 of the best players on the Eagles squad. Now only 1. It seems that FaZe may have done enough, at least to extend play. Certainly not for survival. But escaping what looked like a rather precarious scenario to be in. Flatro fires off a warning shot. Position noted. He's got all the nades he needs to give this a go. What a valiant shake of the stick.
This is impossible. Rain is tucked in towards Dark now. He's going to have the contributions of Brokey, Jungle, and Rop's Connector. I don't know how you get past this.
You can't. Three of the best players in the game as it currently stands, all staring at your advance. You can't, and you won't. Rain secures it. A sigh of relief in unison from the international squad, but they have to go again. It does not stop. The battle wages on. And a high-intensity affair for FaZe and BNE. This is surely, Chad, second OT, your major life on the line. This is where experience should be the difference maker. This should be where the differences are made. We're back into game, tied up. Stuck on the tees. It's on the attack for BNE.
Big gap in his window smoke here.
Yeah, they could be punished on this. He fires off a couple of warning shots, but doesn't choose to commit to it. Rigon already controlling early. So many smokes are up. Look at this, just a barrage of smoke grenades.
No one's accounting for Rigon right now. They're actually gambling for a B play. Brokey, Twist, and Carrigan reside as that flash through connector might give a little bit of information over to the FaZe side that this is coming. Rops is in T-spawn. That push, these maneuvers, he was getting away with plays like this in the first half. And now he's in the back line. They won't expect this so early.
This is crazy from Robs. He really has been let off the leash, and Scenari feels the wrath of Robs. Rain damage onto Rigon, still alive and kicking. Grouped up behind the smoke. Out from Flatro. Does lose out on the life, and now problems for this T side. 3 is all they have to boast. They will do some parkour to try and find the back line. Brokey posted, elevated. We'll post another frag. And yeah, this one peters out. Rops, though, I mean, seriously, with so much at stake, he's still pulling out this new look, this new face. Aggression through the ramp position does get the flank onto Scenario that starts this house of cards to tumble down. 30 seconds, Rigon doesn't really have the health and he can't find a single CT. Covers his shot, but Rain aware. He doesn't want to give that up for free. Rain first contact, I think. Remains unspotted. Rigon turned down. Last GXX should be fine. Norwegian up. GXX overcomes. And charging forward with the AWP. Ready for it was Carrigan. Trying to get a spotless CT haul. That would be the difference maker.
I made mention of this not that long ago, Rabbit. It was the road to Rio, the qualifier, the RMR, just to get FaZe here to this event. And I said 181 rounds across 5 maps, 36.2 rounds per map. That means they were averaging more than 1 OT per map at the road to Rio. And it was a difficult task, but they still managed to get the 3-0. That is job done. That is business exactly how you'd want it to unfold. This is a whole different kettle of fish. This is 0-2, the reverse sweep in the Swiss just to get to the playoffs. And here they're being pushed just to stay alive. The push into Flatro, he delivers. Rops, no more aggression for you.
Brokey, oh no! Flatro's got him! Charging in, Rain caught unawares as well as the Eagles will look to lock in their first T round of this 3-round attack. Only one back. Carrigan tries to be the hero for FaZe. Swallows the nade, gets away, double kill to try and right the ship. He's with Twist.
Synopsy should have this round sorted. They've made it seem interesting for a moment. Twist seems aware that this flank is a possibility. It's actually planned to default, so Synopsy has to get a move on if the retake continues.
Good, strafes out into GXX, a quick spray to secure the 19th. To post around on the attack to stop that lockout of the defense. FaZe will soon find themselves in the same shoes and oh, Synopsy, you're having too much fun, mate. Pulling out the knife in an overtime game for your major life. Madness.
That would have been insane. That would have been on par with Config doing it on overpass. That right there, look, I get it. I get it.
You're feeling yourself.
But that is almost insanity here, and so is this.
Can we talk about the second one? The fact that, sure, you've got Robs, amazing, but you're not even accounting for an AWP posted up on the swing through. Flatro with 3, and now the Eagles with 19. This game just keeps on delivering. Is there really more?
Got the space, they're looking for a mid again. Flatro tucked into tap. In no rush of the Eagles.
Understandably so. You've been given another 90 seconds. You're going to use as many as you can to edge closer to these fights.
But look at the respect. I was going to say that they've bought. It's that they've earned. Bad News Eagles have forced FaZe into a default, very passive hold. Twist being the furthest forward during all of this. Rop's looking for some form of a gap. Rain and Brokey batten down the hatches on A. Carrigan towards B. There's the fight. Rops will find the first, but GXX with an immediate trade, 1 for 1.
They regroup. This default spread.
Rain's pushing now. He's the next to takes the aggression.
You'll get some answers.
It frees up Brokey here. Can either stay in the side or float if required over towards B, but look at them.
Oh, Carrigan's leaving.
Silently up catwalk into Twist.
Oh, brother, Twist. With everything to do! Synopsy cannot be tamed! That's insane on the cross. Carrigan could perhaps do something. They're aware. And Synopsy, another on the floor. Stunning work from this hero for BNE. Down goes Brokey. And 2 rounds the haul on the T side.
Continuing to push the friendship here, aren't the Bad News Eagles?
This is the power of friendship, Chad. This is something straight out of the Saturday morning cartoons.
They continue just to push FaZe here. Round after round. They were in the driver's seat, FaZe. They had the game in the palm of their hands to close in regulation, and they could not get it done. And now we're in overtime. The script is being flipped. Bad News Eagles, they're the ones who are writing history right here, right now. We do have a quick little tech timeout. We have to make sure this is sorted before we can get back underway. Just a little bit of a headset issue for Flatro here.
Hydrate, stretch, hand warmer, adjust the headset, keep the chair back straight. Anything you can do to ensure that you are at your best for the very limited amount of rounds left in this elimination game. Contemplation, potentially a timeout to be called off the back of the tech. If you've got anything to say, Rob, and now would be the time. Of course, as we continue through overtime, you really do tend to see chaos ensue. Once the strap book's been exhausted, once you've shown all the faces you can show, and you can't start jumping towards the potentials. You can't start looking into the future of how it's going to feel or what it's going to be like to be packing your bag early after the second day of play of the Legends stage. You have to stay in the present. But the bar's been set high after this OT. This is our second. Dead even on the first. Now the Eagles have laid down the law. 2 of 3. FaZe have to best it or match it if they want to stay here in Rio.
Where we go. Yeah, this worked for Rig on late.
Yeah, but if you lose both of them...
You're right. It's a very costly investment here. GXX with the moves. He's up. He's over.
He's nearly chased down. He evades their immediate frag. Flatro could be caught out here as Carrigan is through ahead of the flash. They pass, and now Flatro has bet Carrigan's AK, the in-game leader, leading by example. Quick on the push through. Rigon caught out as well. Carrigan pulls FaZe into a potential for a very first T round. And he's got another as well. Finn Anderson not done. Not done. Synopsy is. And it is only GXX. They can go into B. It's unguarded. Carrigan won't finish it just there. Too busy making sure all the strings were pulled.
But you're right. Those double AWPs, they're already chasing. They're on hot pursuit. Rops is in spawn. Twist jumped out towards mid. Rain's already headed towards T spawn. Where is GXX meant to save? He took this damage so early in the round. I don't think he's walking away with this.
That's probably what Carrigan was screaming. Rigon had an AWP. He killed one, saw it on the floor, and then GXX the last standing. They are well aware that these boys in 10K MR3 went for the double AWP setup.
Oh, almost ships in the night here. Rain is coming back to address this and sees the barrel, removes it from play. 2020 all tied up. Hindsight for Eagles now. That double AWP setup. It's going to be extremely costly if they cannot convert here. FaZe have put themselves in a powerful position to close this in double OT.
They can just do it on this half alone. Carrigan, I mean, what a time to find a triple T-side opening. This third frag just sealing the deal. Saneri flustered and straight-faced, straight-laced Carrigan has secured a 20th. Quick out. Oh, just by the hip. Still Flatro a problem. Finds his 30th. Carrigan, cancel. Rain, gonna follow suit as it's Synopsy going wide for it. Still a gap. Not for long. Rigon closes it immediately. Catches one from the AWP. A 2 versus 5 though. Stacked against them. Brokey and Robsto, the sharpest tools in the FaZe shed, left now onto the AWP. And he goes peeking, goes wide, goes hunting. He may not be expecting this. Flatro on the recede, back turn, knife out, missed shot. That's the end as Flatro recovers it. 21 secure, and so this round now with everything at stake.
FaZe Clan, they came here to the IEM Rio Major with one goal, to win back-to-back the Intel Grand Slam, to book themselves as the most successful calendar year in any Counter-Strike team's history. And they are just one more round away again from being eliminated in last place of the Legends stage.
They've done it. They did it once on Mirage already. A single round of Counter-Strike. Yeah, I'd take a timeout too.
The fact that they have timeouts left this deep in the game,
mad, isn't it?
You're not holding on to these for this level of distance. Teams have normally exhausted this before you even get to overtime.
Just brothers in arms, united in a common goal, pursuing the dream, and now looking to shatter the dreams of domination for FaZe Clan.
And now they get to do it on the CT side, where both of these teams have done their absolute best work throughout this jaunt on Mirage. 11-4 halves either way, and Bad News Eagles haven't stopped believing. Is this the uppercut? Is this the knockout blow?
Certainly could be. Rain going into the motions, up to mid. Slight sacrifice for Synopsy. He's been such a hero, but because of the double orbs, operating with just the Deagle, 4 stacked A early. And I mean, making this call, making this choice. How do you finish a must-win T round? Bad News Eagles so close to breaking the hearts simultaneously of legends of the game.
Twist is in towards B. He's found a big gap, has to hit the shot, and does. Rigon's down.
Yeah, double dink both ways. Twist gun just better. Flatro considering the options. Does he move? Does he not? Rain doesn't necessarily need to take the fight just yet. Synopsy aggressive, looking for answers on towards B. And that was perhaps heard. Twist is on short side.
Maybe not.
No. Brokey. Looking. Bomb. Lost. No. FaZe Clan need a hero, and Twist might just be that man. No, they might check him. Spotted out. Scenario reacts. Oh no, it's only Carrigan. Is this really happening? FaZe Clan demanding a 1v4 from Carrigan or they're out. Escorted off the premises in last place of the Legend stage. A quick tap, but Carrigan 10 HP, 2 to find. This can't be real. A slow start, but a more painful finish. Carrigan 2 to find, and they're out. Unbelievable. Bad News Eagles are the bearers of bad news for FaZe. On the second day, they're escorted out of Rio.
Absolutely crushed to FaZe. But forget what you heard. This is what you're hearing. Bad News Eagles eliminate the world #1. Last place in the Legend stage. Going home early. No back-to-back major.